Hey church, let's talk about 2 Corinthians chapter 8. So we've been talking through these moments of grief and difficulty and seeing how the gospel gives us new life and comfort and joy through them. In verse 8, I wanted to focus on just the nature of how the church can serve as part of that process. He starts off by pointing to the churches in Macedonia and how their giving is meant to encourage the church in Corinth to also give. And there is no desire, he says, for one church to be punished while the other is relieved, or that it's, this church had to suffer for a while, so it's only fair that you should also have to suffer for a while. But rather, he says, in verse 14, your abundance at the present time should supply their need, so that their abundance may supply your need, and that there may be a fairness. So what's fair is not punishing one and then punishing the other, but rather this group has abundance. They have more and more because God has given greatly in this time. And so now you're in need, and they're going to be available to do that for you. And then the vice versa. It's about love. It's not about punishment. It's not about fair in the sense that little kids talk about things being fair or unfair. It's about love. It's about give and take, just like a marriage. And the church is meant to be that way. We're meant to be that kind of community. Your brothers and sisters in the pews with you are meant to have moments of abundance in their life. When you're low, they can lift you up. And then the vice versa happens. When they're low, you can lift them up. That's why the church gathers, and that's why it's so important for us not to miss. And it's so important for us to be present, whether we feel a dire need, to go before God, because somebody near us may have that dire need, and we may be called on in ways we don't even understand to minister to them. So be that in our church. Find your place of ministry. It may not even be in front of a class or on the stage in the sanctuary, but you have ministry that you're called to be a part of if you are a believer. So be here. Be a part of this community. Give yourself fully day in, day out, in times of abundance and in times of need, and find that God has blessed you with this kind of community.